Hey Hope Rollston. I am sitting in my backyard, which you have seen many times, and I'm just taking a minute and looking around, and all of our fruit trees have beautiful blossoms, and it feels like in the last couple of days they've just erupted with new leaves, these really bright coloured leaves. And I recognise that I am also in green and I am disappearing into this bush, but that is not the purpose of what I came to talk to you about. I wanted to come and talk to you about something that has been bubbling away in the life of our church that we believe that God has been asking us to invest in, and that's in this area of discipleship. It's one of the core calls of the church. When Jesus, before he went to be with the Father, said to his disciples that I'm sending you out into the world to make disciples of all nations, baptizing them and teaching them to obey everything that I've commanded you. And he said, and don't worry, I'll be with you always. See, part of what we believe is good stewardship of the people that God has entrusted us with as a church is actually being intentional about how we're growing in our faith. And one of the things I have noticed about discipleship, which is just a big fancy word, which basically we use to talk about the idea of being a student of Jesus, being someone that follows Jesus, that is applying his teachings to our life and wanting to follow in his ways. To be a disciple of Jesus is what we believe God has called each one of us to. And as a church, we have come to believe that discipleship happens best when it's intentional and it's relational. So we have been working behind the scenes to develop what we're calling Discipleship GO teams. And we've talked a little bit about this over the last couple of months. But I wanted to give you the heads up and ask you to be expecting a call from someone on one of these teams over the next while into next year. It's going to take us a while because there's so many of you to get through. But basically the purpose of this call is to say, can I come over? Can we meet for a cup of coffee? Can we have a conversation about where you're at in your faith and what it would look like for you to take one step forward this year? To be relational over a cup of coffee and to be intentional about purposefully thinking how we can grow, how we can facilitate that new growth and that new life in each one of our lives with God. So one of our team is going to be in touch with you, and they're going to go through a bit of a conversation with you and find out what it could look like for you to take a step forward in your faith. It might be that you have questions about baptism. It might be that you have questions about tithing or about how the Presbyterian church works, or it could be that you want to be mentored or you'd love to mentor someone. It could be that you're interested in joining a growth group, or you just want to know how you could connect more in with the life of our church. All of these things are part of our journey of discipleship. It doesn't matter whether you have known Jesus for a week or whether you've known him for 50 years. The journey doesn't stop. And each one of us want to be taking steps forward, want to be seeing that new growth and that new life in our relationship with God. So we're pretty excited. We're really grateful to the team of people who are willing to be involved, who have a heart and a passion for seeing people grow in their faith, and who are willing to try something a bit new. So my encouragement, our encouragement as a church, is to not let this opportunity pass you by. It's really easy to just delete an email or for it to not be replied to, or it's really easy to just not reply to a phone call. But I would encourage you and I would challenge you to make the choice, to be intentional about where you're at and what it could look like to step forward in your faith. Have the conversation. There's no strings attached. It's not an ongoing thing, but it might help you to really intentionally think about where you're at and where you're going with God. And we would love to partner with you in that as a church. We'd love to be responsive to where people are at and what they're needing in their faith. So keep an eye out for those phone calls. Be nice to our people, which I know you will be because you're wonderful people. And we are really excited about all of the new life and all of the fruit that's going to be produced in your lives as you take those intentional steps forward with God. So bless you. Please reach out if you have any questions. And we're going to look forward to hearing some of the stories that come out of this in the future. Bless you for now. We'll talk soon. Bye.